Well, when I graduated from Brown, I had very little idea of what I wanted to do. I think most of you in the audience are ahead of where I was as a senior in college. And so applying to law school didn't actually require that much self-examination. And through law school, the vast majority of my classmates and I went to work for large firms. And so again, there wasn't that much self-examination. So it was really only after I started working at the firm that all of my sort of professional ambitions really started to become front and center. I was actually only at the firm for about 5 months, and I went home for Thanksgiving that year to my parents, and I said to them, I was like, you know, this job is really not the job you guys raised me to do. When I was growing up playing Dungeons & Dragons as a dorky kid in Westchester, I didn't dream about being the scribe. I dreamt about going in the woods and killing something. And so I said this to my parents, and they had no idea what I was talking about. And then I went back to the firm and gave notice, I think a month or so later. What I did at first was I took a week off from work to see if I could actually make progress on this idea for a startup that I'd had. And then that week was chock full of activity and meetings and what felt like progress. And so when I got back to work, I said, hey, you know, I'm giving notice. Then they promptly sent me to Tulsa, Oklahoma to do due diligence on some deal. It's really not very good practice on their part because, you know, at that point I probably shouldn't have been doing real work. I just told them I was leaving. So a lot of it was born of the experience I was having at the law firm. And I think some of you might even have already interned at various professional service firms and environments. But the environment was one where people were being asked to mind very detail-oriented work in conjunction with large corporate transactions, and you were really separated from the act of value creation. Like you were brought in kind of late stage, and so because of that, I just felt it wasn't a good fit for me.
Yeah.